Okay, so general requirements for number 18, which is pronounced beschreib deinen Schulweg, by the way. So describe your path to school. Okay. First thing you're going to do is have a sentence that starts with from my house. Okay. I'm just going to do the general overview first. You can write down what you'd like at this point, but basically what you need will also be online. Okay. So from my house, and you'll have that sentence. You'll complete that one. Then in the middle, you need 4 other sentences. And that can vary. If you live further away, I would stick with things like turn left onto blank street, turn right onto blank street. If you're giving a turn, obviously you're changing directions. Okay? If you live closer and you need to supplement and add in other things, like there's somebody in the last class who essentially lives straight up 142nd Street, so they could just say turn left onto 142nd Street, go straight, school's on the left side. But because of the 4 in the middle there, to make it fair to everybody, they have to say things like continue straight to the stop sign, continue straight to the blah, blah, blah. So you might have some sentences like that. But for the most part, you can stick to just doing the turns, and then you're okay. And then at the end, you'll say the school is on whatever side. And I'll give you everything that you need for all of those. But those are the requirements. Okay? And that's the biggest thing to keep in mind, is the 4 sentences between the first sentence and the last sentence. Okay? With me so far?
Yes.
Good. All right. Key phrases. First thing to note is that you're going to be doing the command form, okay, which is new to you, but it's super simple. Okay? There's multiple ways to use the command form, so you say like eat cake, go home. Those are the commands. Okay? You're going to use the formal. Number 1, because it's the most polite and it's the best one to practice. But number 2, because it's the easiest. Okay? To use the command form, you just take the verb and you put it in front of the Z. So instead of saying Sie gehen, you're going to say gehen Sie. So it looks like a question, which is why I'm so careful about punctuation with you guys. Because if you said gehen Sie nach Hause, that indicates it's a question because it goes up at the end. Or if you're writing, there'd be the question mark. But you could also say gehen Sie nach Hause, an exclamation at the end. That's the command, but it's the exact same sentence otherwise. So that's why punctuation is so important. Okay? So there's really only going to be 2 commands that you're going to need for this. Go and turn. Okay? So, the verb to turn, I'm just going to kind of give you some fill-in-the-blank things to use here. Capitalized because it's the beginning of a sentence, otherwise that B is not capitalized. Okay? How would you say that word? Okay? So you would say biegen Sie, and then you're going to fill in some blanks. So the first blank you would fill in is links or rechts. What do you think that means? Left or right. Yep. Okay, so biegen Sie links or rechts. And you may add in a street name at that point. So if you want to tell them to turn onto a particular street, you would say in die, fill in the street name, and we'll do the same thing. So no trail, no way, no court, no whatever. Just make them all Straße. And then the number 1 error on this one is that people forget at the end this ab. So abbiegen is a separable verb. You have to have that one on there. Okay? So you would say, for example, biegen Sie links in die Dod Straße ab. Okay, so that means turn left onto Dodd Street, or Boulevard in this case. Okay? With me so far? Good. Okay. If you want to tell somebody to go, like go straight is a very common one. Okay? They, by the way, don't say go left. Okay? Go right. You use the verb to turn for that one. So if you're going to say go, it'd be gehen Sie. Okay. Common phrases for this one would be gehen Sie, and you might use to continue, which is the word weiter. So that's optional. Like if you're telling somebody to continue going straight or whatever. I'm going to try that last word. Geradeaus. And that means straight. Okay? So gehen Sie, and you could say weiter geradeaus, continue going straight, or gehen Sie geradeaus, go straight. If you're trying to tell somebody to continue going straight and you're giving a street name, then you would add this part. Auf der street name and Straße. Okay. If you want to add in more details, sometimes people say go until the stop sign or stoplight. Okay. The word for until is bis. So you could say go until the stop sign, which is das Stoppschild. Okay? Das Stoppschild. Or you could say go until the stoplight, and that would be die Ampel. Okay. Or the intersection. Let me put this in. Which is die Kreuzung. It's a crossing, literally. They don't say go 3 blocks. They say how many intersections. Okay. If you want to tell somebody to go past something, you would say, gehen Sie an Burger King, or whatever, vorbei. Okay. Vorbei. Kreuzung, that's a U. Okay. So if you said Burger King, if you want to say go past Burger King, gehen Sie an Burger King vorbei. Right. To say the first, second, third, and all those things, or to say the street name with the number, you have that STE thing that we've had before. So don't forget to refer back to that. So if you're going to say first intersection or first stoplight, it would be erste Ampel, zweite Ampel, dritte Ampel. Okay, those things. Okay. When you start off, your very first sentence is going to be from my house. So everybody will start off with these same 3 words. Von meinem Haus. So from my house. And then you'll have your verb. So von meinem Haus, biegen Sie, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. You can decide. I think it's easiest to pretend that you're sitting in your driveway because you're providing driving directions. So pretend you're in your driveway facing your street. And just be gentle. Like some people say, well, I live in a cul-de-sac, so how do I say what I turn onto because I'm already on my street, blah, blah, blah. Just go with generic. So cul-de-sacs, for example, I would probably say turn left or right or whatever onto the next street that you encounter. Something like it's obvious how you get out of a cul-de-sac, so you don't need to provide that. You know what I mean? So use your best judgment. Yep.
So pretend you're like not backing out. Like,
I would.
Way, but, like,
Yeah, facing. Yeah, and it's entirely. I mean, if you put it the other way around, am I gonna know? No. But I would say pretend you're driving straight out. Makes it easier instead of having to say back out of blah blah blah. Okay. So everybody's gonna start with from my house. So start with this. Okay. And your last sentence is going to be the school is on the right or the left side. So how do you say the school? Die Schule. Wie sagt man is? Ist? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to say auf der, and then choose linken or rechten, whichever one is appropriate. You're bringing him to the front door of the school. And then Seite for side. almost done with the notes part. If you want to say at, like at the stop sign, at the stoplight, whatever, you can use beim, if it was a das or a der word, or bei der, if it was a D word. So if it's at the stoplight, Ampel is a D word, so you'd say bei der Ampel. If you're saying at the stop sign, it's a das word, so you'd say beim Stoppschild. Okay. So next. For county roads, highways, all that stuff, we're going to use one general term for it, and that is Hauptstraße. So for example, Hauptstraße, dry. Okay. So you could use, instead of Hauptstraße 3, you could say Robertstraße, and that's fine. Or instead of County Road 46, you could say 160. Straße, and that's fine. It's your choice. Okay. But if you would like a shorter way to say it, then you would just say Hauptstraße and then the number. Okay. We'll use it for highway or county road. It's an option. You don't have to.
Oh, we're saying like Highway 3, then you want.
One more thing to clarify. Okay. So this is to clarify a few things because, and some people just figured this out last class period for the first time ever. So here's Rosemont High School over here. Yes? You guys are actually like right there. You're, based on my drawing, you're not in the building right now. Sorry. Okay? So you're trying to get them essentially to this spot. So that's when you're going to say it's on the right or the left side. Okay? But the thing that most people don't know is that the actual street address for the school is 142nd Street. Okay? And if you go out here and you go up to Highway 3, it stays 142nd, and then you hit a Highway 3, right? If you go out the other way, this way, when you get to this stop sign right here, where all the traffic backs up all the time, yeah, and then there's like a gas station here, and here's Tops, okay? It changes street names. It now becomes Chili Straße. When you go further and you get to County Road 42, it changes again and becomes Chippendale Straße. Now, I don't care which one of those three you use, or if you use all three of them, or whatever. Like one person in the other class, when they're coming straight down that street to get to school, and that's how they get to school, and that's it. She's going to now say, continue straight onto Chili Street. Continue straight onto, 142nd Street, because she needs extra ways to say it. But as far as I'm concerned, you can pick one of those names and stick with it if you are going that route. Does that make sense? So you don't have to keep saying. Like on GPS when it says, in 50 feet, continue straight onto blah, 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 Strasse, or street, or, up to you how you want to do that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to post these online, and then the rest of the class period, what you're going to be doing is working on writing out number 18. Use your iPad to pull up the notes. Use your iPad to pull up the maps. Absolutely no phones out. Write out your stuff in your notebook. Once you've got it, come on up. I will check it over. There were a couple people last class period who went through it quickly enough that they were able to get it onto their note card and have their note card approved yet today. But the majority of them didn't have me check off anything. So today or tomorrow, you need to have me go through number 18. Lily.
Do you want us to use 142nd Street like as a street and then say right or left for the school?
I mean, it's up to you. If you're saying, like turn right onto 142nd Street, and then you could say the school's on the right side. So it depends on how you're doing things. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure if you got what I was asking.
I don't think so.